Aloha and welcome to our Word of Life radio program here in wonderful Okinawa, Japan.
We give glory to the Lord of the harvest. There's a harvest blessing here for you tonight.
We're continuing in a series called A Family Affair. And we've been talking about the family. And so let's open up with a word of prayer and get right into it again. Father, we thank you so much for this morning. We thank you for the wonderful things that are very humbling to hear, Lord, but yet appreciated, Father God. We thank you for bringing us together as a family, for giving us a motto where we can say, this is a church you can call home. Lord Jesus, it's because of you that you give us a place to belong and a place to be, a place to continue to grow in you. Now, grant us now ears to hear and a heart to receive in Jesus' name. And everyone said, amen. High five your neighbor, say, you're looking good. I'm glad you're sitting next to me. Amen. We want to continue on in this series. And before I do, last week we left off talking about God's plan, God's design. We talked about the difference between, why sometimes certain things don't go the distance. And we were talking about God's original intention versus a counterfeit, God's original plan and design when it comes to marriage and family versus a look alike copy, maybe even going as far as calling it a knockoff, and we made the little example that it's kind of like, I don't know where you would go for this, but you go to a store, let's just say, ladies, you want to buy shoes and you want to pay less. You don't expect the shoes that you pay less for to go the distance. When you pay less, you don't expect more, you expect less. So when the straps break off and the heels fall away, you don't go running back to the store where you paid less at and say, I expected more. No, that's why you paid less. Anyways, it's a knockoff. Looks great for about a minute, and then it moves on. So, we were talking about that. Now, I made reference to that because God does have an original plan, original design. And oftentimes when God's original plan and design is not understood, people begin to, especially outside of the church, and even inside the church, redefine what marriage should be, what family should be, and they try to bring on new definitions and secular definitions and unbiblical definitions, and that's not the answer. God's plan has never not worked. When it comes down to, though I would admit, there are times where a marriage doesn't work, a family is not necessarily working together as best it can be, we can go back to the original design and find out what the order of a matter is, and then we can end up having better results because order does determine outcome. Amen? And so one of the things that I did share, if you're here with us for the first time, I certainly want to welcome you, especially watching on live stream and Facebook Live. We laid down the heavenly blueprint for what is called marriage and family, and it's found in Ephesians chapter 5. I'm just going to read a portion of it because of a couple of key words. And it says, wives, understand and support your husbands in ways that show your support for Christ. The husband provides leadership to his wife the way Christ does to his church, not by domineering, but by cherishing. Cherishing also means love. So just as the church submits to Christ as he exercises such leadership, wives should likewise submit to their husbands. Husbands, go all out in your love for your wives, exactly as Christ did for the church. A love marked by giving, not getting. Christ's love makes the church whole. His words evoke her beauty, and everything he does and says is designed to bring the best out of her, dressing her in dazzling white silk, radiant with holiness. And that is how husbands ought to love their wives. Now, of course, the balance of all of this, of course, a woman is to, the Bible talks about how husband and wife are to work together side by side, and how the husband is to lead the wife. But notice the responsibility, husbands or spouses in this category. It says the husband provides leadership to the wife the way Christ does to the church. So just using and taking something out of context and saying, well, the Bible says you're supposed to submit to me, woman, kind of a thing, obviously it comes with responsibility. It comes with character. It comes with understanding who is in the center of your leadership. Christ is in the center of our leadership. So you need to read that because we're not talking about abusive situations here and manipulative, and of course it says here hurtful situations. It clearly goes on to say not domineering but cherishing, just as the church submits to Christ as he exercised such leadership. I want to emphasize on this word leadership. I would say leadership. I think it's important. I once read a Chinese proverb that says it's harder to lead a family than to rule a nation. I was thinking about that not too long ago, and then I came across a quote from a famous individual, Christian, who is very, very powerful and had a great influence on families around the world. His name is Dr. James Dobson. And he once said this. He said, the Western world stands at a great crossroads in its history. In my opinion, the very survival as a people will depend upon the presence or the absence of masculine leadership in millions of homes. I believe with everything within me that husbands hold the keys to the preservation of the family. I want to talk to primarily men this morning as we do talk about the balance of family. And I'm not only speaking to those who are married, I'm speaking to the DNA in every man in this room. Whether you're single and not even engaged in a relationship, currently, or you are recently married, happily married, and goes on. But I think it's important. And let me kind of preface it by saying, I remember a story concerning Albert Einstein. And Albert Einstein was invited to speak at a banquet held in his honor at Swarthmore College. And hundreds of people from around the country had gathered together to hear what he had to say. And when it came time to speak, the great physicist walked up to the lectern and solemnly looked around. And then he said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm very sorry, but I don't have anything to say. Then he sat down. The audience was shocked. And a few seconds later, Einstein got up, walked back up to the podium and spoke again and said, in case I do have something to say, I will gladly come back and say it. Well, 6 months later, he wired the president of the college with a message. Now I have something to say. And there was another dinner held in his honor, and he said what he had to say. He said, Pastor Wright, why did you say all of that? Because I have something to say. And I want to say this primarily to men. Men who love their families, men who care for their families, men who say that they will, in a proper way, die for their families. Not trying to be morbid. But I want to share three things with you today. The first of the three things would be, first, war has been declared on the biblical family. I want to share a story that I shared once before, and at a men's event, about 6-7 months ago. And to kind of give you some background and kind of set the context of what I'm talking about. And again, I do speak to all men here, whether married, whether single, or otherwise. It begins this way. There you are. You've been enlisted, if not drafted. You're only 18, and you're in the absolute prime of your life. You've got a driver's license, a girlfriend, and plenty of dreams. Your entire life is ahead of you. But through a strange series of circumstances you don't fully understand, suddenly your driver's license is utterly useless, and your girlfriend's picture is in your wallet, and your dreams are on hold, and you are in a country 1,000 miles away from home. Welcome to the war in Vietnam. On this particular day, you would give anything not to be here, for you're going out on a patrol as you normally have before. You've been on patrol before, but this time it's different. There's a knot in your gut and there's an icy fear in your heart. Today it's different because the patrol leader has appointed you to be the point man. In essence, you are the leader. Everyone else will fall behind you. And as you move out to encounter the enemy, you realize that the survival of the 7 men that are stepping cautiously behind you will depend on just upon one thing: your ability to lead them. Your judgment may determine whether they live or whether they die. The responsibility hangs over your head like a suffocating humility that hangs heavy in the air. As you gingerly make your way through the rainforest, you've got one eye on concealed wires in your path and another scanning for snipers in the trees. Entire patrols have been lost because the point man failed to anticipate the ambush. And men have been killed or horribly maimed, all because the point man lacked skill, caution, and wisdom. Suddenly, gunfire begins, and momentarily you are paralyzed. Despite your instant reaction training, 1,000 thoughts start instantly flooding your mind. Am I going to die? Where are these shots coming from? Is there more than one? Where is a patrol leader? In your gut, you know that the odds are against you, and you're outnumbered, you're outgunned, and you're not in the greatest position to wage a counterattack. You have 2 men dead, 1 dying, and 4 wondering if they're ever going to make it to lunch. Worst case scenario has happened, something that you never even imagined. Now is a time where your leadership will make the difference. What you say and what you do will determine whether these men that are behind you will live or whether they'll die. As the automatic weapons blaze around you, you instantly and accurately try to assess the situation, determine the critical next steps, and you formulate a flawless plan. It's leadership, pure and simple. If your plan works, you may get out alive with half of your men. If it doesn't, you're lucky if they even find your dog tags. Let's take a critical shift and change now. This is the story I'm reading. And then change the scenario. Again, let's say you're in Vietnam. Again, you're on patrol in the same steamy rainforest. But something about this patrol is different. You're still the point man, but this time you're not leading a group of men. You're leading your family. You look over your shoulder and you see your wife and your children following behind you. Your little girl is trying to choke back the tears, and your little boy is trying to act brave. Your wife is holding the baby and trying to keep him quiet. On this patrol, you don't even want to engage the enemy. You want to avoid him completely. What would you be feeling under such conditions? The survival of each member of your family and the survival as a whole would be completely dependent upon your ability to lead through the maze of possible ambushes, unseen booby traps, invisible snipers, and all the extraordinary hazards in a combat. Would you be motivated? Would your senses and adrenaline be working overtime? Of course they would. You know now that the survival of your family is not up to them. It is up to you. You're the point man. You're the leader. Men, this might sound like an imaginary story, but if you're a husband, if you're a father, you are literally in a war, because there has been a war waged against the biblical family. It's been declared against your family, against my family, whether your family is Christian or whether your family is non-Christian. Leading a family through the chaos of the American culture today is like leading, your family through enemy-occupied territory. The casualties are very real, and as real as they would be etched on the Vietnam Memorial. If you doubt that this war really rages and has any effect on your life or in the world in which you live, take a listen to some of these casualties and quote from an expert. They say this: 1 of 2 marriages end in divorce. Secondly, the median age of divorce is 34 for men and 30 for women. 1 out of every 10 households was maintained by a woman with no husband. And in the early mid 2000s, 2005, 2 out of 5 households were maintained by a woman with no husband present at all. Tonight, enough teenagers will fill the Rose Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Sugar Bowl, Orange Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, and the average Super Bowl will practice prostitution to support drug addictions. 1 million teenage girls will get pregnant out of wedlock this year. 500,000 of those girls will abort their babies on a national average. Of all 14-year-old girls alive today, 40% will become pregnant by their 19th birthday. 60% of all church-involved teenagers are sexually active. 66% of American high school seniors have used illegal drugs, and every 78 seconds, a teenager in America attempts suicide. So, are there any casualties? Of course there are. Let me ask you something before I move on. What are you as a man, as a husband, as a father, doing to keep your family off the casualty list? I know some people have faced divorce. Some people have seen some of our friends, our co-workers, or even extended family go through such situations, and it's been hurtful. It's like being on a patrol, and then all of a sudden you've been ambushed, and there you are with the casualty list. And you never saw it coming, you never dreamed it, you didn't start off that way. But the result of an enemy's attack is casualties, unless you learn to guard against it. And some people, maybe in the church today, not just here, but in the church today, are still, hurting over some of those painful experiences that they've had in the past. Some of them have tried to go on, and some of them gone through a divorce and maybe gone through remarriage or entered into a blended family situation. And some of the toughest jobs in America is being a single parent, raising your children. That has to be the toughest job in the world. But basically, you're back on the patrol. You're still the point man. You're still the point person. I want to commend, especially people that come to church, because that is the reality of our society today, the blended family, remarried, in difficulties. And why is it so? Because oftentimes we don't realize the role of the man. We don't realize the responsibility that's been given to him by God and the seriousness of it. And sometimes we have men who are called to take responsibility with a high school mentality, if not junior high, and I say that because it's rare where some people who enter into this generational shifting, responsibility of raising a family were never trained or never taught. They're kind of winging it and just going by their emotions. And I think sometimes perseverance has brought forth some good answers, but certainly not enough. And today we see the war against the biblical family. Secondly, I'd like to say that the adversary has 2 specific goals in his war on the family. First, you need to understand, as we read from Ephesians 5, that God's already given us the blueprint of how the family should function. The father is the head of the family in leadership like Christ. Together with his wife, they raise their children, and Christ is supposed to be the focus. The most important book in your family or in your home should be the Bible. It often isn't, but it should be. And it's a responsibility of parents and ultimately the father to make sure that the children grow up in an environment that will enable them to become competent, to become capable, and to become responsible parents at some time in their future in a godly manner. It's called generation to generation to generation. The generational responsibility has always been upon the man. And it's interesting that we have a society that is trying to emasculate the man and make him think that he's everything but the leader of the family. That's what politicians and that's what pundits would say, and that's what a media godless stream would have you to believe. But if you go back to the original plan, with no apology, unashamed of the gospel, I'm here to tell you, men, and even if you're single, the DNA is in you to ultimately and eventually lead a family, not change its definition, not shift the responsibility on the woman, but to man up by the grace of God that is upon you. And I want to encourage you, because taking on this biblical responsibility ensures the continuity of the biblical family from one generation to the next generation. And it's time, as you know, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I thought as a child. It's time to put away childish things. And it's time to realize that your city, your family, let me back it up, your children, your family, your city, your state, your nation, the way God has destined it to be. You might think this is sensational. You might even think this is being dramatic. But this is biblical, and this is the responsibility of men. And it's abundantly clear that a major enemy goal is to interrupt, if not destroy, the family, God's family plan from generation to generation. See, if he can destroy it, deteriorate it now, it's going to affect generations. You can't be so myopic that you only think that this is just about you and your moment. It is generational. And the enemy implements two strategies. Strategy number one that the enemy tries to do is to alienate and sever the husband's relationship with his wife. Such a division can either be physical or it can be emotional, but both are equally effective. Strategy number two is to alienate or sever a father's relationship with his children. Again, it can be physical or it can be emotional. And what I'm saying to all of us here is, you know, the grace of God on a man makes a difference in a family, and makes a difference not only in a family, but also in our society. The impact that all men can have is because there is a grace on us men. And I said that it would lead us to point number 3, and I close with this. The first one, I said to you that, number one, there's a war that's been declared on the biblical family. Number 2, I said that the enemy has 2 specific goals in this war: to alienate the husband from the wife, and to alienate the father from his children. But the third, and I speak to all men, I want to make sure that you understand this. I speak to all men here, single or married. You know, the third would be Satan's strategy in this war on the family is to neutralize the man. To neutralize means to stop something or someone from being effective or being definitive. In other words, trying to take the effectiveness of something and canceling its power, or counteracting, or getting it to operate in an opposite manner or in a reverse direction to neutralize a man. Let me kind of help us, maybe men here in this room. There's a true story of a baseball base coach a number of years ago. His name was Leo Durocher. And Leo Durocher was coaching first base in an exhibition game between, way back then, the New York Giants and the Cadets at West Point Academy. And the game was on, and of course they were having fun, and it was an exhibition game. And one of the noisy West Point cadets started shouting, "Hey, Leo," doing the best that he could to, rattle the first base coach and to kind of shake him up, kind of having fun. And in the game, he said, "Hey, Durocher," he hollered, "how did a little squirt like you make it into the major leagues?" And Durocher shouted back, "My congressman appointed me." And it was a joke, but here's what I want you to catch. Obviously, it wasn't funny. But anyways, the point is this. He said, "My congressman appointed me." Men, I want you to understand this statement. And I speak to you in balance of understanding that your spouses might be here. And that is, men, that's how you got to be the head of your family. You were appointed by God. You weren't drafted. You didn't have to sign up. In one sense, you were appointed. The moment you said, "I do," and you became one flesh, God appointed you, gave you a grace to become the leader in the Christ character for not only your wife, your spouse, but for your family. And that family is and will have an effect on generations, whether you want to believe it or not. And that's what I want you to be awakened in. I'm not just talking to you if you're married. I'm talking to you especially if you're single. Because when you're single and you don't understand this, I know there's many things I did not understand when I was single about the responsibilities that's on you as a man. And no person, no politician, no pop culture new mentality or fashionable way can redefine God's original plan for you as a man. You are a man with a DNA to make an impact on generations in marriage and in your family. And so Jesus said this in Matthew chapter 12, verse 30 in the Message Bible. He said, "This is war, and there is no neutral ground." He says, "If you're not on my side, you're the enemy. And if you're not helping, you're making things worse." I say this with a lot of balance. Are you helping your family? Or are you making things worse? I would know that you'd probably say, "I'm helping my family." I know all of us are growing in that manner. No, I'm not saying that for the measure of any level of perfection. But as long as there's a heart pursuit, you're making things better. But there is no place for a man in our society, though it's been tolerated by a society, and yet a society, a pop culture society, has tried to redefine the family structure, God's original plan, and it hasn't worked, and it will not work because it cannot have God's blessing on it. God's original plan, and you, young man, even though you said, like, wait a minute, I don't even have a relationship right now. I'm not even thinking of that. It doesn't mean that the DNA is not within you. And you need to understand who you are now. I'm not saying you have to emphasize or go against a relationship, but I want you to understand that there is a war going on, a war. You know, we used to have something called Men of War many years ago. And for W, I'd like to say we need men of war. Men for W, it'd be with a warrior spirit, a spirit. For the letter A, it would be, with God's authority. And for the letter R, it would be living in righteousness. Warrior spirit, authority, and righteousness. Men of war. See, men, you and I, whether we like, if you're married, you are the point man. For you to say, no, that's the wife. No, that's someone. No, that's whatever. That is, my friends, trying to redefine what God already gave to you. You are the point man for your family. And honestly, you might be like many, many men in the church and outside the church. Well, how do I do this? What do I do? How do I navigate? I mean, you know, and that's where, and that's why, we have to come together and understand that there are times where men need to grow together, and it's why we value the men's life groups and men coming together. There's something extremely important about that. It's not a function. It's not some kind of program. It's about our lives. Church is about your life. And so, but the enemy has a game plan, and it's diabolical in its methodology. When he wants to destroy a family, he will focus on the man. He will try to neutralize the man. If the enemy can neutralize the man, he will neutralize the family. Damage takes place when a man's family's leadership is neutralized. Like, for example, you're a man, you say, oh, whatever, that's just preacherisms on a Sunday morning.
おはようございます。また土曜日の朝が参りました。いかがお過ごしでしょうか。ラジオでお聞きの皆様、サイトの方でご覧いただいている皆様、おはようございます。沖縄は少し小雨の朝になっています。沖縄もだいぶ涼しくなってまいりました。合わせて先週は録音でお送りいたしましたけれども、先週たまたま九州の方に出かけておりましたが、ちょうど台風が沖縄に来て、その台風が九州に向かって進んだために見事に沖縄に帰ってこれなくてですね、一日予定よりもゆっくりと九州の方、福岡の方で時間を過ごすことができました。この3連休、3連休の方もいらっしゃいますでしょうし、また今日お仕事の方もいらっしゃるかもしれませんが、なんとなく街の中がゆっくりとした雰囲気になってきているかなというふうにも思います。このワードオブライフハワイの番組もこのところずっと家族のことを話しております。先週はパスタアートのメッセージをお聞きいただきましたけれども、ずっと家族のシリーズをお伝えしています。今週パスタアートがメッセージをした、もう本当に例えばキリスト式の結婚式であるとか、そういうところではよくよく聞く聖書からの言葉が使われていたりですね、本当にいろいろな、改めてそうだよねって思うようなことも今日気づかされています。で、まずその話をさせていただく前に、私たち一人一人がどんなものであるかということをもう一回初めに皆さんと共有させてほしいんですけれども、実は昨日の晩ちょっと仕事が遅くなってしまってですね、夜中12時過ぎぐらいに、お家のそばに流房があるんですけれども、そこに行って家族がもう寝てしまっているので夕飯を買いに、おかずを少し買いに行ったんですけれども、当然その真夜中の12時ぐらいですから、お惣菜とかいろんなものに何割引きかのステッカーがついていたりするんですね。皆さんもご存知だと思いますけれども、でその中からどれ食べようかなとかって思いながらそれを見てたらですね、 何を心の中で思ったかというと、なんとなくこんな思いが来てですね、自分ってこういういろんなものを割り引いた状態でしか買えないのかなっていうような、それが私の今の状況なのかなみたいな、そんな思いがふっと湧いてきたんですけども、いやいやいやいやいや違うよって、次にまた思いが湧いてきて、私は神様にあるから、どんな状況でも最も良きものを得られる人間だよっていうふうに思いました。英語でミゼラブルという単語があるんですけども、要はそういう状態ではない、なんていうんですかね、わびしいでもないですし、みすぼらしい状態ではないよ、神にある私たちはみすぼらしい状態ではないよ、本当にそんなことを昨日の夜中ですかね、思って竜母を後にして帰ってきましたけれども、そんなことの中で、じゃあ私は自分自身誰なんでしょうかねっていうようなところを考えると、やっぱり私たちの人生の上には神様の計画があって、それから神様が私たちの人生をデザインしてくれて、でそこにはもともと神様のもともとのその思いっていうんですか、その意志がある。でじゃあその計画デザイン、神様のその意志というものが家族においてはどうなんですかっていう。でそうするとですね、もちろん神様の私たちそれぞれの家族に対する計画ももちろんあるんですね。でもう一つポイントとしては、今まだ神を信じていない、自分の神にとなっていない方にも神様のご計画はあるんですよ。すべての人の上に神様のご計画があります。でまたちょっと家族の方に戻りますけれども、その時として神様のご計画とデザインが理解されない、そんなことがあります。でそんな時に特にそのお家の主であるご主人に、お父さんに投げかける質問なんですけども、奥様とそれから家族のにおいて私たち男性は何をすべきかということを考える必要があるというふうに言われています。私たち家を預かる者は配偶者との結婚生活と、それから家族において何をすべきなのか考える必要があるということです。お父ちゃんとして何をしなくちゃいけないかということですね、簡単に言うと。もちろん頑張って働いて家族を養うのももちろんその一つですし、だからといって1日24時間のうち18時間ぐらい仕事をしてですね、奥さんとか子供たちと過ごす時間がないというのも非常に問題のある生活だというふうに言われています。少し前にこんな話をさせていただいたと思います。家族の中における優先順位というふうに言ったらいいんでしょうか。その家族と共にある毎日の生活の中の優先順位はどういうふうにしたらいいですかということなんですが、もちろん私たちが信じる神が一番であることは大前提になりますけれども、2番目は奥様にとっては旦那さん、 旦那様にとっては奥さん、その婚姻関係にある相手の配偶者が基本的には2番目の優先順位に来ます。そして3番目が子供になります。そしてその次が仕事になります。多くの場合、私ももちろん長い間そういう状態でしたけれども、仕事が最優先、仕事しなけりゃご飯食べらんないじゃんとか、仕事より奥さんも子供も優先順位は後だよって、もしかしたら思ってらっしゃる方がいるかもしれませんけれども、この世の中のそのグループの最小単位っていうのはご夫婦なんですね。これは聖書にも書いてあるんですけれども、男性と女性を神のご計画のものに一つのものにした。その時にはそれぞれの親元を離れて一つとなったというふうにも書かれています。なので私たちはその優先順位を守りながらやっていかなくてはいけない。ラジオを聞きの中にも違うよ、だって仕事しなくちゃ無理じゃんっておっしゃる方がいるかもしれません。もちろんその仕事をすることは大切なんですけれども、神を信じる者にとってその仕事すら神が私たちに与えてくださったものだというふうに考えています。ですので、その家を預かるそのもの、その家族に対して何をすべきか考えたときに、時としてこんなふうに思ったりします。新しい定義、これ新しい定義ってどういう定義かというと、神様から離れた考え方っていうことですね。それから世俗的な定義、この世的な定義、それから非聖書的な定義っていうのを用いたりします。そうするとそれが時として答えであるかなって思ったりするんですけれども、そうすると残念ながら特に非聖書的な定義、神から離れた定義というところについては違うんですね。じゃあ何を求めたらいいのか、何をしたらいいのかって言ったら、ぜひ神様に聞いてみてください。神様が私たち一人一人に描いてくださっているその下絵、もともとの絵はどんな絵ですかって、私たち家族はどこに行くべきなのか教えてくれませんかっていうふうに聞いてみてくれませんでしょう。そうすると私たちの神は、じゃあ小一と小一の家族はこっち行こうね、小一と小一の家族に用意しているものはこんなもんだよというのは教えてくださいますし、じゃあどこで教えてくれるのってよくいろんな方から質問をいただきますけども、例えば聖書を読んでいるとき、お祈りをしているとき、そんな中に心の中に思わせたりしてくださいます。そしてそれがこれは本当に神の国、天国から来た思いなのか、それとも自分自身の思いなのかっていうところをよくよく見ていかなくちゃいけないんですけれども、やっぱり神様からの、天の御国からの思いっていうのは全然消えていかないんですね、心の中から。でも人の思いってふとした瞬間になくなってしまったりします。ちっちゃい頃よく自分は自分のおふくろに言われました。なんか買いたいんだけどって自分の母親に言うと、2週間待ってごらんって、2週間待ってまだ欲しければきっと買うもんなんだよって うちの母はよく言ってましたけれども、それにすごく感覚的には近くて、やっぱり神様から来ているものっていうのは全然変わっていかないんですね。でそんな中で聖書のエペソビトへの手紙の5章というところをこの朝は共有をしているんですけども、こんなふうに書かれています。これは奥様に対してのメッセージなんですけども、妻たちよ、あなた方は主に従うように自分の夫に従いなさい。なぜならキリストは教会の頭であって、ご自身がその体の救い主であられるように、夫は妻の頭であるからです。そして教会がキリストに従うように、妻もすべてのことにおいて夫に従うべきですっていうようなところがあります。なんですけれども、だからといってただただ旦那さんの言いなりになるということではありません。ポイントとしては、また旦那さん、聞いている男性の方は、ほら聖書でこう言ってるから俺に従わなくちゃいけないんだよっていうのは違います。キリストは教会の頭であってというところです。そしたらどういうことなのかというと、家族の頭はその家の旦那様であるということです。でもう一つのポイントがあってですね、じゃあキリストは何をしてくれるのかっていうと、私たち一人一人養ってくださるということなんですね。すべての領域でキリストは私たちを養ってくださっています。なのでそれと同じようにそのお宅の旦那様をしなくてはいけないということです。何か心の中にあって奥さんに仕事をさせて家の中にいたり、仕事はしているけれども帰ってきて奥様にお酒を飲んで暴力を振るったり、それによってどれだけの女性の方が傷ついているか、男性の皆さんこれ分かりますかね。全く表向きは正常なご家庭であっても、私たち男性が発する言葉の一つ一つが女性にとってはその心の傷になってたりします。ごく普通の家庭がですよ。やはり男性と女性ではそのポイントが違うので、本当にそのところは気をつけなくてはいけないと思います。それが元で、アメリカの例をパスターとは言ってましたけども、本当に離婚に至ることがいっぱいあると思います。私たちが発する言葉というのはとっても力があるんですね。ですから私たちが自分の奥様、家族に発する言葉、本当に気をつけなくてはいけません。よく昔から生かすも殺すも言葉一つみたいな、そんな言い方をされる方もいらっしゃいました。もう本当にその通りですよ。言葉で人を本当に死に至らすこともできます。また逆にその言葉を使って本当にその人が成長していくこともできます。なので私たち一人一人とってもその言葉を気をつけて使わなくてはいけないなっていうふうに思います。そして女性の皆さんの中でそういうことが原因で離婚をされたりとか、そういうことが原因で お友達とボーイフレンドと別れてしまったりとか、そういう方がいたら、本当に全てのしてしまった男性の代わりに本当に謝りたいと思います。本当にごめんなさい。男が皆さんに、その人が投げかけた言葉によってあなたは本当に心の奥底まで傷ついてしまっている。そのことを本当に許してください。とても悲しい思いをされたと思いますけれども、本当にその傷ついた部分を私たちはそんなことも考えずに、きつい言葉を今ラジオを聞きになっているそのあなたに投げかけてしまった。本当に許してください。ですので、どうぞその人を許してください。心の中に本当に、もうこの人許せないな、この人もう本当に嫌だって思ってらっしゃる方、本当にこの朝いらっしゃると思います。まさに今そうだなって思ってらっしゃる方がおられたら、その人をぜひぜひ許してあげてください。で、言葉でもう許すよって、そこに相手がいなくても一言許すよって言ってあげてください。そうすると多分本当に許せない感情も湧いてくるかもしれませんけれども、その中で人を許すことができるかもしれません。そうするとまた次のステップに入ることができるので、ぜひぜひやってみてください。もう一度戻りますね。私たち日々を生きていく中で、特にその家の主である男の人には、神が用意したその家の主人としての計画があります。そしてそれぞれの家族にもその計画があります。で、もしわからないって思ったら、ぜひ神様に聞いてみてください。結婚生活と家族において私は何をすべきなんですか？私は何をすべきなんですかってぜひ聞いてみてください。そうすると神様が何をすべきかを語ってくださいます。そして私たち男性に求められていることはリーダーシップです。そしてその配偶者と家族を守るための鍵を私たちが握っていると、そういうふうに思ってください。男性のリーダーシップの存在とその存在がないかによって、そのお家は大きく変わっていきます。ですので、リーダーシップということを、リーダーシップというのはリーダーである前に、自分の心の中でこの家族を引っ張っていくんだ、この家族を今日外に連れてって公園でピクニックをするんだ、そんなこともリーダーシップです。みんなのために時間を用意して、この家族のために何をするんだ。ですけれども、そこでポイントとしては、旦那様と奥様は共に働いていくものと聖書ではされています。それもそばにいてです。別居しているという状態ではないです。共にそばにいて働くものとして神様は夫と妻を作りました。そしてそれに加えて夫はその妻をリードする必要があるというふうに聖書には書かれています。ですので、本来あるべき男性像というふうな言い方をしたらいいでしょうか。本来あるべき男性像はリーダーシップを持って、そのリーダーシップの中で家族の鍵を握っているのは旦那様なんだよということを考えなくてはいけないということです。 一言お祈りいたします。愛する天のお父様、私たち一人一人ラジオを聞いている者が次の1週間豊かに豊かに過ごせますように、家族のその和解がありますように、祝福がありますように、経済的にもすべてのものが祝され用意されますように、このことを宣言してイエス・キリストの皆によってお祈りいたします。アーメン。それではまた来週の土曜日お会いできることを楽しみにしています。God bless you.